Hi guys, this is part two of the couple of quick tutorials. The first one I showed you how to make a title page on that Google Doc that you've been using, putting your web pages down as you've gone and you've researched. And what we did was we just took that page, and if you know that you're going to write a story or a paper, you're going to just work from that document right there. I showed you how to make your title page and even rename your document from reference page to title and reference page. Let's just pretend now that you've made your references, or I'm sorry, that you've made your title page, that you've came in here and you've written your story or your paper, or that you've even created a PowerPoint. Okay, so if you're wondering what an 8th grade caliber PowerPoint presentation is going to entail, I would refer you to Maggie's PowerPoint. She did an excellent job of creating some really good informative visuals. She's got motion on there. Now yours may not include all of these bells and whistles, but she did a really great job. She followed the guidelines of trying to get information out to you, but not overloading. She's got a couple of slides that looks like this. It's a lot of information, but she didn't make every single slide with this. She's only included about 3 or so slides with this amount of information, so it's completely fine that she's done that. Okay, so what we're going to do though today is we are going to make a reference page. Now, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use Maggie's sources. She's titled it sources page. So I'm going to come up here and I am going to title it reference page. You're going to see me working from this PowerPoint slide because most people have done a PowerPoint. Let's say that I did a paper. I'm going to come up here to my reference page. I'm going to center justify it. I'm not there, I'm not. I'm going to center justify it. I'm going to do bold and it's just going to say references. Now, again, I'm going to make sure that I'm on double spacing. I'm going to go down and then I'm going to left justify it. And now I can start copying and pasting in. It doesn't matter if you're doing it on a Google Doc or if you're doing it on a PowerPoint, it's going to look the same no matter what when you're finished. Now, I'm deleting a few things on Maggie's. I'm also going to be deleting Wikipedia. Sorry, let me go back and undo that. Okay, I'm also going to be doing some Wikipedia deleting on here. What she did was she helped Wikipedia guide her, and then she went back in when she found something on Wikipedia that she wanted to write about or found interesting. She went back in and she researched where she could really find that. So she found some information on Wikipedia. She then went to NASA's websites or space.com and she looked up that information to make sure. So when you're doing that, she kind of doubled up on her sources. She doesn't need to do that, and I definitely would never suggest putting in a formal reference page a Wikipedia address. So what I did was I took those out and we're good to go. All right, I'm going to jump on over to Site Machine. Now, some of you are like, how do I get to Site Machine? I get there by going to sitemachine.net. Okay, sitemachine.net. Or you can just type in Site Machine into your Omnibox. Your web pages are going to come up here, your options. You're going to click on Site Machine, and this is the page that we want to be at. I'm going to choose MLA style. Okay, no matter what, I'm always going to make sure that this red MLA is highlighted. I can constantly go back and work with this page over and over and over again, okay? So I just want to choose each reference. I'm going to put in its information. I'm going to go through a couple of clicks, and it's going to pop out an MLA reference source for me. So it creates it for you. It does the work for you. Use this, okay? This is the best thing. Or you can go to Purdue OWL. That will also be a good guide. But we're just getting comfortable with creating that reference page and putting it in alphabetical order. Okay, so Maggie has found all of our information on websites. If you're using a textbook, you can type in the ISBN number. That is located inside your books. It's down in the copyright pages. It says ISBN. You'll put that number in and it literally pops out the information for that textbook. So pretty cool. Magazine, newspaper, website. Like I said, I'm going to click on website because that's what she used for the entire references that she had. So I'm going to come over to her very first reference, space.com, about dwarf planets. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to simply paste it into this box and I'm going to click search. You're going to come up with, they're going to spit this out at you. They're going to say, okay, so did you put in this web page? And you're going to say, select. Yes, I did. Now, I'm going to have you go through just a couple of things. It's going to tell you what they found. And you're going to click on final step down here. When you click on final step, they are going to give you a last minute option to put in anything else that you want to put in. Okay? You don't necessarily have to go through this right now. But if you're putting in a textbook and they've left out like the publisher or an edition or something, you may want to go in. You want to make sure that your contributors or your authors are correct. Don't worry about the date. Generally speaking, you're going to put in the date that you access this website. We're not worried about it. I'm going to create the citation. When I do that, yay, it pops it out for me. You can control paste this, or you can literally highlight this, control C, jump over to your sources page. I'm not going to delete my web page yet until I know that I've got my source on there, so I don't forget. I'm going to copy and paste. Here it is, right here, okay? So I can actually come down here to this first web page and I delete it. And the reason that I deleted it is because I don't want to go back and get a source for it again and double up on my source. So I'm done with that web page. Now I come into my second web page, I highlight it, copy it, I go to Site Machine, I'm going to go back here again, I'm going to click on MLA again. It's going to take me right back to that web page option. I'm going to copy and paste right in here. It's going to pop up. Did you just put in strange facts about dwarf planet? Sure. Okay, you're going to select it. Make sure it's not the same one that you already put in. They tell you what they found. You click on final step. Go get your shoes on. And then you just double check, make sure everything's okay. Create your citation. Copy and paste. I'm going to click on this instead of highlighting it. I went ahead and just copied and pasted it. If by chance it did not, you can come over here. Now, notice that they're creating this for you. If you don't want to copy and paste them individually, you can copy and paste all of them and put them into your work. I do them individually. That's just how I've always done that. You can copy and paste all of them at once. Okay. So I'm going to come down here. Notice that I started up here and all I did was I return. There we go. Notice it's not the same. Contributors may be the same, but the actual names are different. That tells me that it's two different web pages. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to delete that web page that I just put in because I don't need that anymore. Now I choose my third web page. Copy. Go to Site Machine. Click on, oh, it already gave me the option, but that's okay. I just re-clicked on it. I'm going to select, I pasted my next web page into ML or my Site Machine. It says, did you put in Pluto overview planets? Yep, select. Here's what they found. Final step. Double check and make sure if there's anything that you feel like you need to add to it. I don't, especially since we're just getting comfortable with making this. Here we go. They give me this this reference. I can copy and paste, or I can highlight it and copy and paste. I'm going to go back to my web slide or my slide, and I'm going to copy and paste it. Now, notice when I did that, it made this something that I could click on. You can leave that. Technically speaking, we would remove that and make it just part of it. Now I can delete this. Okay, so let's say that I did the citation machine for all of these. I would end up with a big long list that looked about like this. The only problem is I have to make sure they're in ABC order, okay? They're alphabetical. So I've got contributor and contributor. So now I have to look at the first letter that's going to be different. In this one it's an N, this one it's an E. So clearly this one is going to come and replace that one. All I did was just moved it, and now I've switched those two around. I'm going to remove that. Pluto will be my last one in this set of 3, so I can leave it. Okay, I'm going to change this to white so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so all I'm going to do is for the rest of my web pages that I have listed here, if I was Maggie, I would go in and I would copy and paste each of those into Site Machine, get that MLA reference, and it's going to spit that back out for me. Okay, let's say that I've done that with all of these. I haven't, but I'm going to pretend that I have. Or let's say that all I have is 3 references. Well, the last thing that I need to do is I need to double space these references, okay? So I've got to double space these. I'm going to go up and double space. Now, normally, I would have you put a hanging indent right here, okay? Not there, right here. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. If you want to come up here and go to your paragraph setup and your page setup, and you want to put your hanging indent, oops, okay. If you want to come up here and you want to put your hanging indent about 1 or 5 in, that's totally fine. I'll show you what I'm talking about if I'm doing that in a paper. I'm going to go back to my paper. I'm going to copy and paste. When I did that, I ended up with white writing. Let me change that real quick. Okay, so when I did that, here is my okay, so let's pretend that I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get these off of the page because I want to pretend that this is my reference page. This is what I'm working with. What I'm talking about when I say a hanging indent is that you always want your second line to be about 1/2 of an inch inside, okay? So this is what your references will end up looking like. They're double spaced, but the second line of each reference is going to be about 1/2 an inch inside the tab. You're going to do that by messing with your ruler at the top of your web page or at the top of your Google Doc. In the Google Slides, you're going to have to go into your toolbars and do that. So if you are not able to find to do that, I'm not going to spend time doing that this very second. I want to keep this short. If you don't have time to do that, that's okay. But if you're writing it or if you're typing a reference page on your Google Docs, I would really love it if you focused on trying to get that hanging indent in there. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to review it if it's before the due date. So you can share that with me on a Google Doc, and I'll go in and I'll let you know what you need to do to correct those.